Alright guys, let's go ahead and look at 4-6 normal. Now we're just going to look at base plays first, so let's go ahead and look at cover 3. And all we're going to do with this, we're going to start off with outside right. We're going to base the line, show blitz, spread our D-line and crash it down. Hot blitz the linebacker on the right. Now, every once in a while this Collins will end up backing up to like right here instead of being up in the gap. So for that reason, I like to re-blitz both defensive tackles. Now if he's up on the line, see how he just backed up? Now if he was up on the line, it wouldn't matter as far as blitzing those defensive tackles. But the fact that he backs up like that makes me have to. Now see, since he's on the line this time, I should be able to just crash down and get the pressure, as you see. But if you see him backing off the way I showed that first time, you're going to need to re-blitz those defensive tackles. If not, and he shouldn't, most of the time in the game he won't, but especially in practice mode. But like I said, most of the time in the game he's going to stay up on the line. But he'll end up in different places sometimes, and it can mess things up. Now say we want to send it off both edges, we're going to base the line, show blitz, spread our D-line, crash it down, hot blitz both outside linebackers. Now I like to take Hightower and move him out a few steps. You don't have to. You need to get on Mayo and pass commit and hold left trigger, and then back off the line once the ball snaps. You don't need to stay there for a long time or the whole time or anything like that. I just think that it holds the line a little better. Now as you see right there, it ended up getting picked up off the right edge because I didn't stay there long enough. And I also didn't bring my outside linebacker here out a little bit. If I bring him out a little bit, it should come both ways with no problem, as you see. Now if I want to send it just off the left, I can base the line, show blitz, spread my D-line and crash it right. Hot blitz the linebacker on the left and bring him out. And then I can spy Ninkovich. Now as you can see, even with the spy over there, it came off the edge. Now if you're one that just likes having the same setups, you can crash the line down and just bring him out. Get on Mayo. Wow, okay. Forgot, you do need to re-blitz the two defensive tackles. And as you see, we come off the edge. I prefer crashing the line down to the right because in that scenario we don't have to worry about, re-blitzing those defensive tackles. Now obviously that concept will work with any play out of the formation. Let's go ahead and look at one rush outside. And now with this, we technically don't even have to show blitz. I do because I want it to look the same. So just show blitz, spread our D-line and crash it down. You're going to want to re-blitz Hightower. I also re-blitz the strong safety just because of the blitz angles. I feel they're better that way. Now you can base the line with this. Base the line, show blitz, and spread the line and crash it down. Then just get on McCourty. And now you should end up with B gapping outside, as you see. So just base the line, show blitz, spread the D line and crash it down. Now you end up with B gap off the right, outside pressure off the left. You can do one or the other. Base the line, show blitz, crash the line down. Now I'm going to go ahead and put Hightower in the purple. Or since this linebacker decided to line up on Lynch, I'm going to man him up over here on Curse. And now we'll get the B gap. And that's something you need to worry about. If you baseline and show blitz and someone's manned up on the running back, you need to take him and man him up on the slot receiver or tight end or whoever is manned up on the outside, whoever's not manned up on the outside. We can also take this and turn it into a coverage defense. And now what I do is I'll take Hightower and Chung and put them in purples. And then I'll just take someone on the defensive line and throw them in a hook zone. And then I'm going to cover McCourty myself. Now, as you can see, the field's pretty covered. Let's look at zone blitz, because I will blitz from this. And the way we're going to blitz from this is pretty simple. We're going to base align. We're going to global zone all the linebackers by pressing RB and then up on the right stick. We're going to spread our D line and crash it down, base align twice, and then show blitz. And now we should end up with the B gap from that strong safety. And as you see, it comes in clean. So base align, spread our D line, crash it down, global zone all linebackers, base align twice, and show blitz. That time we end up with the outside pressure instead of the B gap. Now we can also spread our D line and crash it down, global zone the linebackers, base line twice, and then hot blitz the linebacker on the right, show blitz. And now we should end up with dual pressure from the right side. When I do this, I throw Butler into a hook. And that time we ended up just getting the B gap. That's not something I do often, it's just something you can do. Another thing you can do is re-blitz Chung and bring him out. It'll come just as fast as the B gap when it comes off the edge. That time we almost got B gap from the defensive end. So basically we're getting some practice mode nonsense going on. So let's go ahead and change plays, because you're not going to get B gap from that end. You might get it every once in a while, but not very often. I do not run inside blitz in this game. Fire zone 3 we can set up like our other. We can set up like our other blitzes. So just baseline, show blitz, spread our D line and crash it down. Re-blitz these two. And Mayo's lining up weird now. He's doing the stupid thing I told you about earlier where he'll back up or end up in a different spot, and you don't want that. There we go. That's where we want him right there. And that time we end up with the B gap from Mayo instead of the outside, instead of that defensive end on the outside. Now we can also send it both ways, baseline, show blitz, spread our D line and crash it down, hot blitz the linebacker on the left, and bring him out a few steps, get on Mayo and hold L2. And as you see, we get the pressure off both sides. We really don't have to move them out as far as I showed earlier. You can just put them like right there. That time we end up with straight on pressure. Right now we're getting some practice mode stuff going on, so. But yeah, I mean for 4-6 normal, that's pretty much it. I will run the speed package here and there. And cover 2 inverts also a good play to run, just in general. Let's go ahead and run a different formation for a minute so we can get some So they'll stop predicting my stuff in practice mode. So run 2 invert for the dual edge. Crash line right for the outside pressure from the left. And as you see, I spied that defensive end that time. Crash the line down and re-blitz these guys for the pressure from the right. That time Mayo backed off, that's why we ended up, or the DB backed off, that's why we ended up with pressure from right there. Now we can also run 4-6 normal flipped. And I'm not going to go too deep into this because I don't run it that often. We can just call baseline and press. Shift our linebackers to the right and spread the D line. Now we can hot blitz the linebacker on the right. Ooh, I actually shifted my line wrong, sorry. We're going to baseline shift our linebackers left. Hot blitz both outside linebackers, crash the line down, and re-blitz the defensive tackles. Get on Mayo. And now we'll end up with B gap from the left and outside pressure from the right. We can also send it just from the right. Baseline press. Crash the line down and re-blitz the D tackles. Hot blitz the linebacker on the right. Get on Mayo. And we'll get the pressure off the right edge. Send it from the left. Baseline press. Shift the linebackers left. Spread our D line. Crash it down, and I usually blitz Chung instead of that outside linebacker. Get on Mayo, and we'll get the pressure off the left edge. You could send dual that way too. By blitzing Chung.